Walton, Swannanoa Post Office.
Introduce yourself first, and what do you have to do with the post office?
Okay, cool. Uh, I'm Dan Slagle, resident of Swannanoa, North Carolina, and I'm a retired postal clerk from this post office. Worked here 25 years, and I'm a retired clerk that still has a kind of an interest in the postal service. And the real interest I have right now is getting our post office back home. After Helene came through, our post office was closed down. That was September 27th last year. That's been almost a year. And so the Postal Service worked out of a portable van in front of this post office from October till almost the end of November. Weather got bad and they had to move to another facility, and the closest facility evidently that was available was the Grace Station on Merriman Avenue in Asheville. Grace Station is a 26-mile round trip from where we are right now. So for the post office box holders, that created a huge inconvenience for them to go check their mail. And we're still in that same situation today. So just last week, besides losing our post office, we also lost the only collection box in this whole area that sat right outside in front of the post office. So now, besides just losing our post office in the center of this community due to a storm, we don't even have a place for the public to drop their outgoing mail. And the Postal Service says that they don't have any plans to replace this box that we just lost last week anywhere else in the community. That is in violation of their guidebook, the Postal Operations Manual, and I'll give you a copy of that manual. You can read it for yourself. But we are trying grassroots effort to get the Postal Service to at least get us a mobile retail unit back here, and at least a collection box where the folks can deposit their outgoing mail. We're having a little problem getting that accomplished, but we're not giving up. We're going to keep up, and we'll get it back sooner or later, and hopefully it's sooner.
I heard you have a campaign going on. Like, describe to me what this campaign is.
Oh, okay. Not too long after our postal retail unit, mobile unit left, we decided to start a postcard campaign. So we took a picture with about 50 residents stretched out waiting to get in the post office door, which is no longer there. And the postcard, I'll give you a postcard too. We're waiting for the post office to come back home. This is the center of our community of Swannanoa. This is where people come, get together, talk, and see each other. And we do need a post office. So we mail those postcards, over 600 postcards. We had a writing party or two, and we've mailed over 600 to our elected officials, local, state, and national, and all the postal officials that might have something to do with or have a little bit of influence to get our post office back home. So we're still in a waiting pattern. In just a few days, we'll have been waiting for a month. For a year. So I guess that's the way the story goes.
And would the hope to be for like this exact post office to reopen? Is that the hope?
No, it was for maybe a few months, but the post office loves to lease their buildings. I think about a third, less than a third of their buildings are actually owned by the post office. I think so. Post office leased this from a private company here. Can I give the name of that private company? Ingalls Incorporated, which has a grocery store chain, and I think they have a real estate chain too. Not really sure about that, but they decided, finally made it public, that they were not going to reopen this building, and the word is they're going to tear this structure down and rebuild a brand new Ingalls store in this location. And the old Ingalls store that's next door will be opened up for other businesses to move into. So that left the Postal Service, Ace Hardware, and the little pizza shop. What was the name of that pizza shop? Papa John's. Papa John's, with no home. So the Postal Service is currently looking for an alternative location for their postal facility. They began looking January the 28th of this year. And they have not, well, they're kind of secretive about what they do and what they don't do. But we have learned at least that they are aware of at least 2 buildings that are empty at this point and may be possible to lease one of those 2 buildings. There may be 10 buildings possible, but they're not letting us know that. So it's just a process. We're just hanging in there.
And some people might not realize how important, the post office is in this period of time. And also a lot of people right after didn't have homes, didn't have a mailbox. So yeah, can you talk to me a little bit about why it's so important?
Well, it's really hard, not just on the folks that had P.O. boxes, but the folks that lived in this area. Their home got washed away. Their cars got washed away. Now, how do those folks make a 26-mile round trip to just not only pick up their mail, but to check their mail or to mail packages? It's not as far to mail packages. They can go to a closer post office, but it's a real hardship on those folks that don't even have a vehicle. So it's been hard for a lot of people.
And a lot of vital information.
Oh yeah, for almost a year.
Yeah. With all you're probably getting like the FEMA, the checks, the blah, you're needing to send stuff, I can't even imagine how it's been hard, like getting all those forms back and forth between these people who are hurting the most.
Yeah, it's not, the post office not being here is not nearly as hard on the folks that have a rural mailbox or a box on the side of their house. They get mail delivery every day regardless. So, but those P.O. box holders, they're between a rock and a hard spot. And it's just not a good situation. And now, on top of that, we have no place in this community to go drop a letter in the mail to get it, to pay your bills or whatever.
And why have you taken a particular interest in this? I mean, you're retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Well, I'm a member of the Swannanoa Grassroots Alliance, and the first meeting I went to, it's kind of a circle. We go around the circle and talk and introduce ourselves. We connect people with other people with needs We connect them with people that have resources. And so my first assignment that day was, since I was a post office retiree, I needed to keep track of what the post office is doing. So here I am, still keeping track.
And tell me about how much do you keep track of? How much do you know?
I don't know a whole lot, but I do know how to read, and I can look things up, and I do know what the Postal Operations Manual is. I know what the Administrative Support Manual is, and most manuals I can find if you spend time on the internet to find them. So I know what they're supposed to do in the Postal Service, and I know what they are doing. And sometimes those two things are not the same.
Do you have a message for whoever it might be, USPS or like the whoever's the overlords, like, get us a post office?
Oh yeah, I do. Well, I got a question or two, and I have submitted this suggestion to the Postal Service by email, and asked if we couldn't, at the very least, have gotten a mobile retail unit like we had shortly after the storm, right back here, so the P.O. Box customers could come and pick up their mail and buy postage and mail letters and packages out. And the response I got, we have no plans to send a mobile unit back to Swannanoa. I can give you a copy of that if you'd like to have it. And now we're faced with the no collection box. So it's kind of hard to deal with sometimes, but I know if we stick with it long enough, we will get a post office back. We'll get a collection box back, and so we just got to keep plugging and hope we don't have any more bad weather.
Shout out to weather. Thank you. Appreciate it. You gone back here and visited a bunch?
Back there?
Here, just like, do you come out here?
Oh, just to check on things?
Yeah.
Yeah, about twice a week.
Even though not much has changed?
Yeah, well, gradually things get removed. Like they did some of the stuff from the inside early on, then came back later. Then they removed. We had 2 collection boxes out front, and then that dropped down to only 1 collection box until last week. Now we have no collection box. When I was a part-time employee here, I came in at 4:15, I think, in the afternoon to do what we call a collection. There were 9 locations in this community that I got my little postal jeep and drove around to those different collection boxes and picked up the outgoing mail and had it here that evening for the truck to take to the processing center. So we have gone from 9 collection boxes years ago. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but we've gone from 9 collection boxes down to 0 last week. So here we are.
And this was all Helene damage in here. Like it flooded or what?
Yeah, well, it flooded to, just telling you what's on this thing, 5 feet. For nuts and washers later. See, they didn't break these things off.
No.
That's a safety hazard. When they took the first box out, you can see what
Where
they did.
they dribbled
finished
it down.
Yeah, they finished the job. Hey, wanted Swannanoa Post Office.